The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised. And good evening, everyone. Welcome to McStabber Studios' Queen's Gambit. I am the storyteller tonight, Shanky McStabber.
How's it going? I'm playing Charlie Saccharine, the vampire.
I'm House. I'll be playing Gary Foster, the Wraith.
Hi, everybody. I'm the Red-Nosed Archon, and I get to play Julian Finnegan, also a Wraith.
Hi, everyone. I'm Glaciate, and tonight we'll be playing Lucius, the werewolf.
And hi, I am Psychshire. I am going to be playing Luxley Lorella, the Satyr.
I'm Urian, and I'll be playing Silas Illy, the mage.
So, these are the chosen ones from each of the respective groups that went to retrieve parts of a totem, or in Charlie's case, the key. While this took us many weeks to stream, I will say it's been days since the start to finish. And you all are waiting for the Lady of Fate. It's tough to sleep the next few days, not knowing when she'll show up, when she won't. But then you settle down finally, able to catch some sleep one night for the living. For the dead, it's a bit different. You all have been struggling with a shadow that is not quite human. And for Charlie, you've been waiting for that shoe to drop. You don't sleep at night. But for the two wraiths, it happens quickly, painfully. The knee heel opens, but it's almost too small for you because it almost feels you're being squeezed through it. But you're deposited in a throne room where you can hear outside the room the sounds of a city of the dead. And as it's just you two, for Lucius, you go to sleep when you think you're awake, but you're not sure. You can't move. You can hear, you can see, you can feel. And there's somebody in the room with you. All you can do is talk. It's a woman's voice. The time has come.
Wasn't expecting it to be so soon.
I regret the pain I'm going to cause you. And the woman steps into view. And it is dark-skinned woman. Can't tell the age, but she is the picture of perfect health. And she reaches your body and shoves. But your body doesn't move. Your soul is hurled from the body. And you also find yourself in a throne room, but in your case, there's a silvery thread that you see stretching into nothingness behind you, linking back somewhere. Luxie, I'm not sure you were sleeping. I think you were out partying. But on the dance floor, you hear a woman's voice you've not heard before. This would have been easier if you'd been home. But no matter. It is time. And you feel someone shove you from behind, but your body doesn't stagger. Your body crumples to the floor. And as you feel your soul separating, you hear the screams in the club as you have collapsed right in the dance floor. And then it is just a blurred movement as you find yourself also in the throne room with a silvery cord coming from you, heading back to somewhere. Can't see the end of it. Silas, you're a mage. You're woken as you feel something. It's not magic, but it's like magic. Infinitely more powerful. And the woman that walks in, she eyes you coldly. They call you awakened.
What do I call you?
You can call me the Lady of Fate. You're not awakened. You are a sleeper. In this city, there's only one true awakened. And he has departed. It is time for you to go.
Oh, where?
To your fate. It is time for the totem to be restored.
So be it.
And she walks over to you. She doesn't tell you she apologizes for the pain she's going to cause. There's a look in her eye like you can see the dislike that she has for you for some reason. As she shoves, and you catch a fleeting glimpse of your avatar as your soul is pushed from your body, and you arrive in a throne room with that silvery tether still linking back somewhere. And finally, we come to Charlie, who is awake at night. The woman steps to you through a hole of blackness. It is time for you to go. You must come with me. You have a special purpose tonight. Are you ready?
Charlie doesn't say anything and just follows.
And as you approach the hole, she says, "Step through. I will be there shortly. I must finish something else first before I come. Prepare the way, you might say." And as you step through, the hole is in a throne room where you see 5 others. You are all here. Charlie, you do not have a silver thread. You are here physically. The Wraiths do not have one because this is their realm. But for Lucius, Luxie, and Silas, that silver thread still links you back. I turn it over to you so you can introduce yourselves to each other.
Is
Wow.
the lady of fate in the room?
No, she has not come back yet.
I suppose we're all that's left of the various groups that went out to accomplish their task. Good to meet you all.
Yes.
Very nice to meet you as well. Anybody know what happened? I mean, I was getting it down and then I fell down. So it's like, anybody got any ideas what's going on?
I got pushed and now I'm here.
It's time. The lady called us all here for something.
Basically, as far as it was told to me, we all died.
What? Oh, you got horns too.
Oh my god, you got horns. Those are amazing.
I love your horns.
Oh, we have to treat how to do with your horns later. Okay.
Let's do it.
I am Lucius. Hello, everyone. I am a child of Gaia, and you must be the vampire. And he points to Charlie.
Charlie just smiles. Charlie.
What exactly is a child of Gaia? I'm not familiar with.
Let's just say I volunteered to, die and be here because it would be for the best of everyone.
Right. I meant
was...
supernaturally. What is a child of Gaia? You act like we know who all of you are, but Gary and I, we're the ones that were stuck with our end of things.
We were already dead, so
yeah.
Yeah, I kind
Front
of
row
noticed.
seats.
Before I monopolize this thing, speaking about endless world of werewolves and their.
he's a werewolf.
Yeah.
He's a werewolf.
That's all we need to know. Is a werewolf.
He's a doggy.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, and this one, he points to Silas.
I am a mage.
All right.
And my name is Silas, in case that ever becomes relevant.
Julian.
He already introduced me for you. I'm Gary.
I'm Lucius.
You said
And
that.
I'm Luxie. I'm a satyr.
Good. Not going to get confusing at all having two horned people with two L names.
Quiet one.
I think that's easier, actually.
And you, quiet one in the back, talking to Charlie.
What do you want to know?
We all introduced ourselves.
Oh, I said my name. Did you not hear me?
No, he was talking. The werewolf was talking a lot.
Sorry.
Name is Charlie.
And allegiance, affiliation, business card, whatever people use these days. In a word, I don't need another paragraph like the werewolf is about to give us.
Oh, I didn't understand what you meant. Vampire.
Thank you.
I'm presuming, since we're not all extra dead, that our respective groups succeeded.
Mine did.
At a cost, but yes.
Yeah. Ours did.
Storyteller, do I know what the threads are? Since I have fatalism.
Yes, that's their silver cord. That links back to their body. They're not dead if they have a silver cord. That is the soul's link to their physical form.
That's really interesting to see that Charlie doesn't have a cord. Puts things into perspective as far as his mythological origins are concerned.
What things?
Those cords that tie you to your body, so you're still alive while you have those cords.
Oh.
Oh,
Right.
that's cool. So
Gary and I
play
don't have
house.
them.
Don't jump rope with them. Okay.
Gary and I don't have them because we existed here. Charlie doesn't have it because she's already dead. Kind of sad, really, if you think about it.
I'm not going to presume her disposition about who or what she is. Julian, you shouldn't either.
It's hard to ignore fate when you've spent so much time with it.
And when you say
sometimes
that,
I wish we had.
a woman, you can't ignore fate. And as she steps into the room, she's not wearing a mask. She's in it's loose flowing robes of a material you don't recognize. And as she walks past her throne that appears to be carved of ivory or bone, which for the wraiths will tell you, that's not normal for this realm. That much ivory and bone is not easily found, or, the value is immeasurable. For those that have not met me, which would be most of you, I am the Lady of Fate, also known as the All-Mother, or if you're religious, you may call me Eve. That was my original name. You all have come to serve a purpose, to fix something that must be fixed. You each have pieces of a totem. Charlie, you are the key. What I'm going to do tonight, it's not easy for me to do. And I can't go with you, though I will be there. Just not this me. You'll understand. But I guess since you are about to give up everything, I am willing to answer any questions you might have. It's the least I can do.
Could you elaborate on everything that we're about to lose?
In a few minutes, I will take an act that is going to sever your cord. In the mortal world, your body will die. Your soul will be free to be used in another purpose. For you, mage, your avatar, your shard will be safe. It will pass on as it should to infect another.
Interesting choice of words, but I understand how it works.
Gary and Julian, you are spirits. You're already just souls. I'm afraid you won't be coming back.
Oblivion, then?
No. Something else.
More victories, I guess. My lady, I will not speak for Gary, but I don't have any of the Arcanus to cross the shroud. It's against hierarchy principles, of course. How will that be facilitated for us?
That is a philosophical question, whether you're going to cross the shroud.
Oh, I was not prepared for that kind of answer.
What makes your soul and your spirit a spirit? Will and intention, right? Passions.
Oh, I got that one.
You'll be fine. Yes, Charlie.
I fear I have far too many questions and there's not enough time.
There's never enough time, is there?
I feel like when it comes to her, there's plenty of time.
Well, Charlie, you have more time than you realize.
I have two questions.
Ask.
Wherever we're going, can I bring my hammer? Or a hammer?
I'm afraid it won't allow for that. Only spirits will go. And one other, the anchor point. And as she says the anchor point, she looks at Charlie.
Oh, so that's why she's not in spirit form.
She is the anchor that will pull you all with her. A
Or
current.
drag us down.
What was that, Gary?
Or drag us down.
No, she'll pull you in the eddies. The eddies of time.
Now, you had said, and good evening, by the way. It is a pleasure to meet you. You mentioned something about cutting the tether, and then our bodies would be used in another manner. Like, what did you mean by that part?
You will get a new body.
Like a new physical form?
Yes. Unfortunately, the bodies you have here, they're not going to survive the severing of the cord. They will set with no soul to anchor them and waste away and be in a coma.
A shame. I was rather attached to mine.
I kind of liked mine. I had some good clothes.
I accepted it already.
Mm.
This is a mercy. You should try drowning. Unpleasant.
We're falling down
Mm.
an elevator shaft.
Yeah, those don't sound pleasurable.
They tried similar things to me in the past. Didn't work very much, but I get the idea.
Mm.
I had a second question.
Maybe I have answers.
What happened to Nicholas and Isabella? I know I made my choice, but I think it's only right I know what I missed out on, whether it was good or bad.
They got their wishes. Nicholas and his sister Izzy have moved on, moved beyond, freed from the eternal torment. As for Isabella, she got her wish. Her and Emilio will be together again, as they were. You see, you have to balance things out in the end. Two were given their desires. Two will meet a deadly fate. And it balances out, doesn't it?
Convenient.
Isn't that what fate is? A balancing of time, the scales, through eternity.
You'd know best.
I didn't give myself this title. Don't worry. Are you ready?
Hey, I can't come up with any questions. So yes.
Will we need weapons?
Any weapons you need, you'll find when you arrive.
Okay.
And she casually strolls over and she picks up and holds Lucius's cord, and you can feel it reverberate through your soul. And then she squeezes and it breaks. And a part of you feels gone. Don't know what part it is, but you feel lighter, but at the same time, there's a physicality that's gone. She moves over to Lexi's. She picks up her cord and squeezes it, and then it snaps. And for Silas, when she grabs yours and squeezes, she does it reverently, like this is a solemn occasion. But for you, when it snaps, you feel the loss of your avatar. You feel the loss of your mortal body. It's just your soul now. Charlie, you have to stand in the center, and each of you put a hand on her.
Lucius puts his hand on her shoulder.
It's all right, ma'am. I'm about to put my hand on you.
And you see the Lady of Fate bow her head, and she begins to concentrate. And her form almost flickers a little. And then she drops to one knee, catches herself with her hands and looks up. And then you're not here anymore. You're looking at Milwaukee, but it's going backwards. Everything's going backwards, day to night, and it speeds up. Buildings being assembled in reverse, taken back down. And it speeds up faster and faster and faster. Eventually, you get to where there's 3 cities there, not one, 3 small little cities, and then no cities, and in plains, and nothing built there. And you find yourself in a teepee made of hide. And you realize you're in bodies again, except for you, Charlie. You are yourself, but not as you were after embraced as a Nosferatu. You are and appear to be like you were before embrace, though your heart does not beat. You don't have to breathe, but you don't appear as a monster that you were. And as you look around at each of the others, you notice the bodies aren't the same. You see yourselves, you see your bodies, but there's an after image around each one that shows a Native American skin tone, hair, almost like a shell around who you are. And memories slide into your head. You are members of the Menominee tribe. You've been at war with the Chippewa. You prayed for help, and what was sent to you was one who called himself Usla, a warrior for Gaia. And he brought war back to the Chippewa for you, claiming the leeches were behind the attacks. And you have been fighting a battle for a year now. You were almost wiped out, but with the arrival of Usla, you have regained much ground, inflicted many casualties. But you know tonight Usla has called a war council because he says you are to be attacked tonight by the leech and her brood. But as you're looking around, warriors geared for battle, the Lady Fate steps into the teepee with you. Same as she was before. But the look on her face is not one of recognition. I did not expect to see this here tonight.
See what?
You.
Oh.
Fate decreed I must be here.
You will.
But it did not tell me why. You are not of this time. I see the superimposed souls. These are not your bodies. Except for you. How did your body get sent back here? And she looks at Charlie.
Honestly, I wish I knew.
I can't tell you what you must do tonight. But there's an ill wind. Momentous times are coming. And the actions tonight are going to change the fate for centuries to come.
What is the outcome you're looking for?
I wish I knew. You know why you were sent here, what you must do. Whether it is to stop the events, change the events, I don't know.
So what is going, by the way, hi. So what is going on right now outside this tent?
Well, it is the year 1701, as by the calendar of the East.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight, the Lupine and his war band and members of his tribe are going to war. Going to war against Chiclana,
Mm-hmm.
Chippewa kindred. Child of my child in many ways. And you all have been told through your Queen's Gambit backstories and stuff here and the events leading up to it, this is the night the totems would have been shattered.
Mm-hmm.
This is the battle that caused them to be broken.
He came here in hopes of aiding true spirits,
Mm-hmm.
guaranteeing they wouldn't be affected by this battle that would occur tonight.
I don't know what has been done, but I sense inside each of you pieces
You should
of the
know.
whole.
You should know. You sent us here. Maybe not quite the
not-
same you.
Not
But
yet.
the time is different. So it wouldn't be the same. I mean, it is the same, but knowing less than what she would know from our time. So then this would be the beginning
I feel,
of
I believe they call them totems in each of you, pieces.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You are the whole as a group. But I don't know your purpose. And she looks over. Child of my child.
You called her an anchor. You will call her an anchor. Sorry.
Very key.
That makes sense.
I believe it was a keystone.
Mhm.
She became the keystone when she touched it. I can feel that. That line of fate stretches into the distance as far as I can see.
Should there be any concern that we all look like one side where she looks like our side's fighting? She in any extra danger because she's kindred, as you called her?
To the people of this time, you will look like people of this time. Your language will be theirs, though you don't speak it or understand it.
So we're only going to be able to understand each other.
If I did this in the future, the need must have been great. The cost,
It was.
the cost
Was.
for this is
Mhm.
a price I never thought I'd pay.
We can tell you what happens in our original timeline, but I don't know what that would do. I never mastered the art of fatalism like you did, my lady.
What happened?
Short answer is the werewolf destroys the totems.
That much power unleashed would cause a problem.
It affects all of us. Each one of us from our different set of existence are all impacted, which is why we're all here.
They call it the new zone. It affects both magic and the transformations and powers
So that's
all around this territory.
That's why I can't see the threads of fate past this night in this place. Well, you have a job to do, whatever it is.
So two armies are coming together and they're going to battle on a field. Is that what we're thinking?
That is what Usla is planning.
You know where the totem is?
Totems, plural.
Or totems?
I imagine you'll find out shortly. And a man walks in the room, Native American. He begins to speak, but when he speaks, the words you hear don't match his mouth movements. He is speaking his language. But in your head, you hear your own, which is quite discerning because the words he's saying does not match your names, though you hear your own names. Gary, Julian, Lucius, Luxie, Silas, Charlie, come on. War Council. Usla wants to speak. We must plan.
Lead the way.
Storyteller, do I still have my passenger?
You feel the totem in you somewhere.
Okay. But he's not as vocal as he was.
No, he is
the...
silent, dead silent.
That's. I'm going to shoot Gary a look then.
This is like Doctor Who.
Harry would nod his head, acknowledging.
If it's a war council of a Garoon, let me just say that being confrontational is a very bad approach.
Oh no, you gotta be slick. You know, use a little finesse. I think that works this, day and age, I think.
Oh, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Follow.
And he leads you out to a raging fire. Now, Charlie, that fire makes you a little nervous. You're still a vampire. But around the fire seem to be the warriors of the clan or of the tribe and of the pack. There's a number of war forms. There's even a couple medics in the group. This is a different time. And a pack that is on the defensive and losing. You find that they tend to allow more metis because it's needed. And one stands up in the front. He is huge, gnarled.
Oh, big boy.
And you can feel the power. It's coming off his hand and his eye. The totem is part of him. The leeches come tonight. Tonight is the night. And he starts smacking his chest. We will finish this. I came here for this. I have guided us for this. We will put an end to her and her leech worm-tainted spawn tonight. Are my warriors ready? And the Krynosform werewolves, they start shouting and raising their arms. The ones that are human, they seem nervous, but the delirium doesn't affect them.
Don't happen to see Coyote anywhere in the crowd, do I?
No.
Just wondering.
The totem is part of him. The totem for Coyote was the eye of Coyote. And you can feel the power emanating from his eye. Come. Recite the kills you have taken as we prepare ourselves for battle. And the crowd begins to recite all the enemy warriors they've killed and felled in battle. Then it comes to you, Gary, and you're expected to participate. You realize, Lucius, you realize this may have been, this pack has taken over this tribe completely.
Mm-hmm.
They are all adopting werewolf customs.
I will raise my arm and say, it is not worth learning the names of the leeches. Just the amount I have killed, which is many.
And the crowd starts baying, some howling. Even the humans do an imitation of a howl. Julian, speak your renown. Name your triumphs.
As is customary, I would rather howl it to the wind so they may hear that I am prepared to face them as always. And I will howl as I imagine a triumphant howl should sound.
And it goes on to another warrior who talks of sneaking in the night, staking leeches, setting fire to teepees, burning the whole village. Then it comes to Lucius.
The agents of the worm, in their darkness, have fallen to my spear, as much as the claws of the Garou in the past, and as all of them are gonna do in the future. For the glorious of our union is greater than their unlife.
Ah! They look to Luxie for her her boasting of her triumphs.
I'm going to present to you in song and dance my triumphs, those lives I have taken. Please let me dance for you and show you how my glory has befelled. And she'll start, just even though it's not an ability thing, she's going to start doing the best dance she can do.
And they look at each other, kind of confused a little. This tribe is mostly red talons and the like. They're kind of not sure about the dancing part, but, this is your renown. You do it.
And she's doing the howl, like the howling that she has done before in prior.
Then, frothing at this point, many of them, they look to Silas for his exploits.
I do not care to know the names of my victims as I took them in their morning sleep, but there have been many.
And they must be killed day or night. The worm taint shall be eradicated, and we shall cleanse the stain upon us. And they look to Charlie.
Quick on her feet, instead of giving names, fire is our tool and weapon. The worms will not succeed.
And then a song breaks out, a song of violence. One of the galliards begins to tell tales of victories and of triumph over the worm, the death of the leeches. And through it all, Usla stands over the pack. And every once in a while, you see someone walk up to him, say some words, and he talks back, slaps him on the shoulder before they move all along their way. Is anyone planning to try to talk to him?
Lucius is.
Okay. And he says a name that his mouth doesn't match Lucius, but he says, Lucius. Are you ready,
Usla,
brother?
during the day, I seeked wisdom of the wilds. I was taught 2 lessons today. One by a mighty eagle that taught me the meaning of being together. As me and my brothers and sisters of this tribe helped each other to secure our food. But the other was the coyote that taught me that I should be looking better for my food, as it stole the biggest part and ran away. I think for this fight, we should try our best to be cunning, but united. Not neglect any single part of what makes us better than those Garou, than those, he doesn't say Garou, than those kindred.
And when you mentioned Coyote, the eye that you feel the power, you see it. You can feel its gaze upon you, washing over you. And as you'd mentioned, Eagle, you see his hand shift as he crunches it up, but it doesn't look like a werewolf's claws. It looks like talons. Coyote and Eagle are with us, brother.
Just listen to what they say.
They tell me we will have victory tonight.
Let us honor what they are. And Lucius steps away to meet with the group.
How did that go?
Oh, he's a complete fanatic. He's not going to listen to a single word I said.
All right, good. That's what I thought he was.
Y'all don't understand. He kind of glances quickly at Charlie. They should have clocked her immediately. As soon as they looked. But none of them did.
You are aware that we don't belong in this time period, so...
She's not looking like us, is she?
I think she is. She?
No, yeah. I
She looks
don't
like Charlie, except she doesn't look hideous anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, so...
I was just look human to them.
Oh. Yeah,
But
that might be my misconception.
They're still, I mean, you know, if she's a vampire, they'd sniff the worm taint this close. This many, somebody would have.
Yeah.
He seems to be masked.
It's weird. They should have noticed.
I mean, do you have the ability to notice?
Not on this form.
All right, well, we can't test the theory then.
What if they did notice?
Then we're fucked.
And they just aren't doing anything yet. Or what if only that big guy noticed and isn't doing anything for a reason?
Then we'd be fucked.
Is it nighttime or daytime?
It's night, dusk.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna look around just in the general vicinity for a hammer, and if there isn't one, I'd like to find a big fucking rock and strap it to a big.
There's weapons.
Now, you say dusk. Is it going into morning or tonight?
Going into night. The attack is coming tonight.
And I don't have the horns, right?
Nope. Well, you feel them. You can, I mean, everyone else sees them, but not.
They're not
you.
They can't be used for any reason. Okay.
Yeah, they're there, but not there.
She's going to walk over to Lucius. Okay. These are your people, right? These are your kind, right? Okay. If what we have is something that was broken apart, that is something they right now possess, shouldn't we figure out who's got them?
That guy, he points at Ursula.
Big guy has them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hand of Eagle and the eye of Coyote.
I theorize that we need to keep him safe.
To keep them from being broken.
Yeah.
But who's to say he isn't the one that breaks them?
I was under the impression that he was.
Yes, what I'm saying.
Must have been some kind of act of desperation. So as long as we keep him from getting to that point, would Lucius, as a werewolf, how close are you on a scale of 1 to 10 on a daily basis from being desperate enough to break a totem?
Well, me, myself, basically at you.
All right. And from your little interaction with Usla, where do you put him?
He doesn't seem to be on the same playing field of mind. I would say a 7 and an 8, but the desperation of combat might become. Werewolves have that thing called rage. It gets really fucking wild.
Gary whispers over to Julian. He's at a 12, a hard 12.
Yeah.
So here's a thought. If we go to the very beginning, we know they get broken. We don't know by who. We don't know if a vampire gets a hold of him and breaks him. We don't know if that big guy gets a hold of him and breaks him. We don't know if a spy grabs a hold of him and breaks him. We just know they get broken. So wherever they're located, if we need to stop them from getting broken, we need them in our possession.
Lucius just said that he has them.
Storyteller, I'm going to keep an eye out to make sure we're not being listened to among this crowd.
They don't seem to be. They seem to be. Some of them are. A couple of them are fighting. Oddly enough, they're duking it out. Doesn't seem like they're playing for keeps, but they're duking it out.
They're pre-gaming.
And a number of them seem to be drinking. Most of them are singing songs, and some of them just seem to be getting. Man, if you've watched a movie with berserkers in it, where they're just working themselves up into just a vibrating rage of violence, you see that happening too.
So
Lucius, you said that he has them already. How would he break them?
what if he got embraced? Would that, in being embraced, would that release them or break them if they're within him?
Is that even possible?
Somehow they get broken. The question is by who?
That seems frightening to embrace a werewolf.
So is our job to keep it from being broken or to fix it once it is with what we've recovered?
Good point.
We should really try and explore more of this place and get a better feeling of what we can do here.
What this guy just said makes a lot of sense. Think about it. If they were broken and we were supposed to stop them from being broken, why did we go off and look for the pieces? So in other words, it may not be because if we're here, if we're trying to put them back.
I think it's to ensure that a version of it remains intact in this time.
Oh,
But if it's in this time, why are we bringing something back that's already whole? So in other words, if it's whole and he's got them and we're bringing back pieces.
Could be a contingency.
we have a situation here, and having touched fate as much as I have, there's two outcomes. We let him destroy the totems and we continue down this path and we are stuck in a loop forever. Or because we do have our connections to the totems, we are what gets broken instead. And because the totems are never destroyed, that zone never manifests. But that price is still paid. She fucked us from the beginning.
We've already paid the price.
I mean, we are already here.
We paid the cover to get in the bar. We haven't paid for drinks yet.
Bingo goes to dynamite.
But the point is, we were sent here for a purpose, and we possess something that is already here in whole form that we know will be broken. So then what is the purpose for us? If it is to either be what is broken or let the item that gets broken, let it get broken, and then we have pieces to make it whole again after it's been broken. In other words, like if somebody breaks an item that you've got a copy of it somewhere else, they think that they actually won, or they think that they actually broke it, but when they actually really didn't. And you've got, you see what I'm saying?
Okay, who's got the piece of the coyote?
I do.
Yeah,
Okay,
so do
okay.
I.
Okay, Coyote is like the cunning guy, the real smart one. Why don't you ask him?
He's been kind of quiet since we've hopped back.
Also a real asshole.
Oh, he was.
Okay, why don't you ask him?
Coyote, how do you feel overall? Scale of 1 to 10.
I will destroy you. I will destroy the leeches.
Yeah, all right.
This must be finished. They must be destroyed.
Okay.
Remember, you just have the rage part, the anger,
Yep.
the hate.
Yeah. Lucius,
Did he just say you want to get destroyed or like fuck you, pretty much?
He did. He told me that all he cares about is destroying the leeches and making them pay.
Hey, Eagle, what do you
Very
think
angry.
we do right now?
We will rain death upon them from the skies. We will tear their eyes and pluck their brains from the sockets.
I pretty much repeat as he's saying that to everyone.
And I suppose I'll ask my piece the same thing.
Your piece doesn't answer.
Oh, by the way, when you were dead, like us, there's a part of you that's all of your like negative and like antitheses that like to try and fuck with you. And when we got these pieces, they pretty much kicked those parts out and took over. So we've just been dealing with rage monsters in our heads since we completed this.
Yeah.
Oh, the Garou experience.
Oh, wow.
Eee.
Sign me up for none of it in the future.
There's that, well,
Okay, I am no Archie, but let's go. Eagle, what can you tell me for us to do here in this trying time?
The totem pieces you have don't speak. Of all the
Eagle.
pieces you have, everyone else have fragments. Only Gary and Julian got a whole piece, which was the whole rage.
Lucius puts down, okay, mine is silent as well. But
All right.
What would happen if we just put them all, like, put them all in our hands? Like,
You don't have any
Because
items
then-
with you. They're in you now. They're part of your
oh,
spirit.
they're in us?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
so this goes back to Julian's point that we will probably need to sacrifice ourselves for them to be whole again.
oh, yeah, that makes sense.
So what Charlie doesn't have anything. That's the odd kink in the formula.
Are you sure you don't have any parts of them? Charlie?
Okay,
Just
I-
Keystone.
what about you, Lucy? What part do you have?
You have both.
well, okay, wait. So, she's dead, right? She's dead.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to be dead to get what's in us out.
Different kind of dead.
Are we sure we need to be dead? Is there another way to get it out?
Not 100% sure, but
Lucius is gonna maintain an eye on the outside, what's happening, to guarantee things aren't getting out of hand, and they would have to be too late to act.
There's no book for this, Luxie. Like we're in uncharted territory here.
Oh, I know. I'm just trying to brainstorm.
Lucius, you're the best one equipped to handle the kind of rage that Gary and I have not dealt with in our lives like you have. These are new passengers. You've had this your entire life. What can you divine on us
About rage?
Yeah.
It exists inside of you up until a point that it gets too big to hold out, and when you look up, there's 20 people dead around you. And so, yeah.
Julian, now that we have bodies, maybe we can just get some weed. That might calm us down some.
Doesn't work.
I got a question. Can I try? Your name's Charlie, right? Okay, you got the most experience with being dead. I'm not meaning to be offensive, but you do. So when somebody dies or something dies, and for example, we got this stuff, and now we're souls in something else. Once you die, where does what's in you go?
See, that is not something because I'm undead dead. You want to ask those guys over
Ma'am.
there.
I just look at Gary.
Thank you.
Ma'am,
Yes.
We're good.
You can call me Luxie. That's cool.
Luxie, we're Julian and I are ghosts.
Yeah. We died for real, not whatever happened to Charlie. No offense, Charlie.
Okay, so we are technically dead in a body that isn't ours.
You are technically severed from your bodies. Your spirit is not dead. What we mean is dead, gone forever, no coming back.
Right, but think about this. So we were in a body that was ours. We died because she cut the thing. And then we jumped into this, I think I look pretty decent, body. And then we not only are a spirit in a fake body, we got this other junk in us too. So there's two people or two things occupying this one physical body. Is that where we're going with?
It's kind of like a Russian nesting doll. There's a totem piece in you, and you are now in there, but you are not dead yet.
That is a good analogy.
Okay, so can we get one of them out and keep the other one in?
No, probably not.
Maybe. I'm not going to say no, because fuck all we know, but it's not looking good.
Okay.
Have you and you and you and you tried holding hands?
Have we what?
Not you. Gary and Lucius. Have you tried holding hands?
No, I particularly haven't. But okay, I can hold your hand, Gary.
I just want to see if anything happens.
You feel a vibration between the two of you, but that's about it. It's almost like somebody struck a tuning fork.
Oh, wait.
Oh. Seems like a little earthquake.
And I'll reach out to Julian.
I mean, one of y'all can jump inside me. I'm good with that.
You feel the vibration. It's almost like somebody struck a tuning fork next to you.
Possess, you know.
And as you're standing there, you see a warrior run up and speak to Usla. And then he screams, "They're coming. The challenge has begun. We go to kill." And he raises his hand, and everybody starts screaming, and the group begins to charge across the plains.
And
right here.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Don't lose him.
As we're going to break,
holy
back in the year 2024, in a bed, Lucius's body dies. There's no soul touch to it. Luxie, your body is dead in a club. Silas, your body is dead in your rooms where you were. We're going to go to break, and we will see everybody in 10 minutes. And welcome back, everybody. Before the break, they were sent back to the year 1701. The night the totem was shattered. Not in their bodies for most of them, other than Charlie, though I'm not sure it's really your body because you don't have the Nosferatu curse for some reason, which doesn't make sense because you're still a vampire. You just don't have that curse. And it was a lupine war gathering, which meant The Council of War was really just boasting of who they're going to kill, who they have killed, and whipping themselves up into a frenzy. Many theories were shared by the group, but as we went to break, the scout had come and said Chick Lena and her Chippewa were coming. And so what's left of this tribe, along with their lupine warriors, set across the field. The humans have trouble keeping up with the lupine as they charge, as all of them are in Krynos form. 8 feet tall, forms of muscle and anger and death. Though you do notice Ursula's hand is a claw. Each of his fingertips, instead of being what they should be, is an eagle's talon on one of his hands as he's charging forward. And as they're charging across, what are you doing?
So Lucius charges with everyone, and he says, okay, let's not be close to them, but let's be close enough to keep an eye on them.
We should
Got it.
keep them in eyesight, which shouldn't be too.
Yeah, they are going to attack, and we are not equipped to handle that in combat.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll make a show of charging with them, but hang back just enough.
Yep.
Yes. And is there a test I can do to perhaps get a lay of the land in a way that will allow us to be close, but not too close?
Sure. How good would your human form be at tactical thinking? Is that something you'd be good at?
I think my human form will be good at knowing the way of the land.
Okay.
I
I
established I am a hunter.
Give me 8 dice against difficulty 6 then.
Okay. And difficulty 6.
Mm-hmm.
5 successes.
5 successes. You know, I mean, this is plains, but the lupine are going to be up the center of the charge. You should be able to, if you put them dead in front of you, they should be able to keep most things from coming near you as they are the wall between you, which means you can get pretty close and avoid direct combat. You'll still have to pick off stragglers that come around the sides, but it won't be nearly as bad.
Lucius is going to orient the group in that direction, following his instructions.
And as you're coming across the field, the ones coming at you, you can see moonlight glinting off the silver.
It's not big fights. We are not here to win this battle.
I just wish there was some way to climb on one of their backs and just hang on and get close to
there
that
isn't.
dude.
We do not want to be that close.
I know, but I was just saying, wish we could. Because that way we'd be close and protected.
No, we would not.
It would be.
If any of you look around, you will not see Charlie.
I believe in the heat of battle. That's fair.
Charlie is just gone.
Cool.
Charlie, what are you doing while you're obfuscated?
I am staying close, but like shadow. So I'm using my stealth advantage under unseen passage, but I'm staying still, like I'm following the battle,
Okay.
if that makes sense. Just staying on the outskirts.
You're trying to make sure nobody accidentally bumps into you, slams into you, or hits you, but you're still close. Okay. And you can hear the crunch as the werewolf meet the line of battle. And all you see is human bodies being flung into the air as the werewolves tear into the Chippewa that are coming. You can see them taking hits. Silver, they're getting shots in, but it's not a fair fight. Though your group is outnumbered 4-1. It's not going well at first for the Chippewa.
Man, I wish there was something we could do. I mean,
not-
stuck
we're not-
without.
We're not here to help.
We're
Not in that way.
I know.
we're not on a side. We're on our own side.
Yeah, but
Of course, there is something to help. And Lucius is going to try and find a bow and some arrows.
Okay. Sure, you could, if you want one, you had one.
He's going to head them to Luxie, pick up the stragglers, guarantee that our path is safe.
you got it. So she's going to pick up the bow and basically trying to protect the guy that we're watching by nailing off some of the stragglers on the side.
He is a monster in combat. No one seems to have touched him yet, though other werewolves are getting hit by silver. Normally, they get hit when they're 4 or 5 at a time are coming at them.
Mhm.
Not Usla. Usla is just too much. There's a path around him. Nobody gets within arm's reach of him before he tears them apart. He even bats an arrow that comes at him before it hits him. It's obvious. You can feel it. Everyone here can feel it, except Charlie, who has no parts of a totem. He's using Eagle and Coyote in the fight. Eagle to watch for the attacks, to know when they're coming, to avoid them. Coyote of when to strike without being hit back. He knows how to use these totems and the aid that they can give. Luxie, you're shooting arrows, picking off on the side. It's then you notice one of the werewolves go down. And it doesn't rise again. It's got several arrows in it. You're pretty sure they're silver. Then a second goes down. Then a third.
This is just not going well, y'all.
It's time to move in.
Get closer.
Let's get closer.
You can taste the desperation.
And yet still, Usla is not touched. Who here thinks their person would be good at noticing things? Their human body. Charlie, you're watching. You can give me 8 dice, difficulty 6. Who else thinks they're good? Luxie, that's your thing? Go ahead. Give me 8 dice.
8 dice.
If you think you're not as
difficulty.
good at it, give me 5 dice, difficulty 6.
I'm
Dice
going to
you
do
got it.
5.
I'm gonna go 7.
Okay, go ahead.
7 10-sided. God.
Difficulty 6?
Yep, difficulty 6.
2 because
I'm
of a
assuming,
1.
I'm assuming 10s don't do anything.
No, not in this one.
I got 2.
2?
I got 8
4?
6 9 8. So I got 4.
4?
Nice.
Okay,
And I got 4
4?
on 5 dice.
Nice.
Yep.
2 because of a 1.
4.
Same.
You all catch bits and pieces. Everybody with a 4 notices there's something off in the fighting. There's an area, a shadowy area that has begun to creep across the battlefield. There's 2 pockets of it moving towards Usla. You can't quite pierce. It's too thick. But it is moving towards the fight.
And we can see it.
You can see it. It's a dark, splotch of darkness moving.
Y'all see that?
Yeah.
It's head. That could be something that messes it up. That could be something that breaks.
There's 2 of them. There's 2 totems. It's not hard to jump to that conclusion. Lucius, is this part of your history since you're a werewolf? What do you know about this battle?
What do I know about the battle?
This battle's not talked about much. All you know is Usla stole these totems. He wasn't supposed to have them. He shouldn't have had them, and he broke them to kill vampires. And for whatever he did, changed the world around it when he did it.
Maybe we need to stop those black things moving because they're moving towards him. Do we need to go check that out?
None of us have any sort of powers to do that.
We do.
All right.
We have the only powers humans have. Let's bring fire to this.
We could walk over and like eyeball it.
Or you could shoot
Yes.
an arrow into it.
You
Fire, huh, Lucius? Where you grab in fire? Did you grab a torch as you were leaving the war camp? I mean, if you think you would have grabbed one, go ahead. You got one. I assume competence.
Looking.
You're going up against
Okay.
vampires.
That makes sense. So I was going to say grab a torch, things like that, and try to light up parts of weapons that might be on the floor, things like that were thrown by the other tribes, and kind of toss them to the sides to scare away the shadows.
Okay, I'll say that you could. Luxie's got a bow. You could put her arrowheads in the melted down or rendered down tallow that is burning for the torch, and coat enough that it would stay lit if she shot an arrow at it at the darkness.
That's exactly what she's gonna do. She's gonna hold the arrow and go, here, give me a light.
Sure.
Light me up.
Okay, go ahead and roll 6 dice, Luxie, for your bow.
Got it. What am I going for difficulty 6?
Difficulty 6. We're keeping with the vampire difficulty of 6 for this one because it's just easier.
I got a 6 and 6 and an 8. No one's.
3 successes. The arrow flies through and hits one of the patches of darkness, and where the fire goes, the darkness is gone in that area. It almost looks like it cuts a path through the darkness. And in the group you shot, there's 4 individuals. You can see them lit up as the arrow passed through before the shadows reformed. Pale skinned, claws for hand, eyes glowing red. There's 4 in that group.
There's 4 creatures in this one group.
Your guess is that would be vampires.
All right, grab some arrows. Let's start lighting up. Anybody want to grab some?
I'm gonna yell out to Usla to watch for those 4. Trickery, hidden tactics.
I see them. Thank you, Julie, and I will get them. And a bunch of the pack jumps towards those 4, as does he, leaving the rest of you to fight the other mortals that were there. Though their numbers, you're outnumbering them now.
Shoot for the other patch. Shoot for the other patch. We need to warn them.
And Luxie's grabbing arrows on the ground as she finds them.
Lucius is lighting them up and keeping an eye.
Okay, give me another roll.
Got it. I got a 6, 9, 10. No
Okay.
one's.
The arrow goes into the inky blackness. There's only 3 in this one. One of them, a long, lithe woman, snatches the arrow as it passes by and throws it back at you.
Oh, shit.
Give me 6 dice to dodge.
Got it.
Inhumane speed. You've never seen anyone move this quick.
I got a 10, a 6, a 10, a 9, and a 7.
Okay, you dodged it at least
Woo!
as the arrow comes by. And you see Usul and his remaining warriors, there's only 4 now, plow into the other 4 kindred. But aside from Usul, his companions are wounded. They've all been hit with silver multiple times.
I warned him about these 3.
He can't hear you. He's in the middle of the fight. When he went into that darkness, it didn't dissipate, and you don't hear his fighting anymore. Sounds seem to be muddied, suppressed. You hear nothing coming from inside the darkness he is in.
Have to be close to him.
Yep.
move in.
They're gonna move closer.
Yeah. And Luxie's gonna grab arrows as she's getting closer, and she's gonna stay close to Lucius in case she needs to have them lit.
As you're getting closer, Charlie, you're obfuscated. You got free reign of the battlefield. What are you doing?
I'm trying to get close to this darkness without going in because I'm pretty sure I know what the darkness is. But I want to be close by.
Okay. So you're maneuvering to get as close as you can without entering the field.
Yeah.
I know Luxie and Lucius are shooting. Gary, Julian, and Silas. Julian, you're trying to warn Usla about it. What are Gary and Silas doing?
I'm trying to move in, I think, get closer in case he decides to go nuclear.
As you're moving to get closer, I will say that the other patch of shadow is angling towards the shadow that Usla entered.
Silas is going to look around. There's on the ground any torches that have been dropped by the other warriors?
I'm sure there's some.
Any chance there was like a canteen of oil?
No, there wouldn't be a canteen of oil here. Good try, though. I like the idea, but there's more than enough torches coated and rendered down tallow to keep them burning.
Okay, I'll try to grab like 2 of them, one in each hand, and rush towards where he is in the cloud.
Okay.
Gary, cover the rock on your stick.
Yeah, I would try and light my big rock on fire.
And as you approach the shadow, suddenly the shadow disappears. It's gone. Usla stands. Just him. There's 4 dead vampires, and the last of his warriors are dead too. He stands alone. The field dropped when the last vampire went down because it's not maintained anymore.
I'm going to do something crazy.
Okay.
After I help Gary cover his rock in tallow, I cover myself in tallow and run into the inky blackness and set myself on fire.
Okay. That is the second patch of blackness, the one that has 3 in it. Okay.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And, I'm following behind Julian.
It is not over, Usul.
And Usul sees you running in there with tallow rubbed everywhere you could rub it. And he starts heading towards the inky blackness. Now, I'm going to tell you, this is going to hurt. And you emulate yourself. When you do, the darkness does disappear immediately. And you see the long, thin woman leap towards Usla, but the other 2 square off with you.
I tackle them, and then I stop, drop, and roll while I do that.
How good are you at, you think you are at tackling?
I think the Lady of Fate put me in a physically adept body, just like I was when I was a ghost.
Go with 8 dice for that.
You got it. I'm okay with that. Oh, it's a bad day for them, baby. I rolled 2 3s out of 8 dice. Everything else is 6 or higher.
Damn.
There's 2 10s.
Nice. Yeah, you definitely tackle one and set it on fire. Now, as you're doing that, the field of blackness is gone, of course, because you're on fire. Fire burns away Stygian shroud. But you see Chiclina and Usul meet. It's like something you've never seen before. Not you, Julian. You can't see it. You're too busy screaming and burning. The rest of you.
I would be trying to put him out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of you see Usla is fast, or Chiclana is fast. Extremely fast. Usla can't get a claw into her. Can't seem to connect. Every time he swings at her, it's almost like she moves before he swung. Like she knows where it's coming.
And I run and up to engage her as well to distract her while he's trying to land a hit.
You can try.
With the torches in hand.
You can try.
Okay.
Go ahead. Are you good at that?
I'm going to assume that I'm good at physical things.
Okay, then you can have 8 dice for that.
Okay.
Celerity has a real handy
Set.
power.
A 3, and the rest of them are 6 or higher. So 7.
Celerity has a nice, useful power that lets them react to things before they happen. It's level 5. You know, it's powerful. You come in, and you swing your torches. One minute she's there, the next minute she's not. But her hand catches you in the back of the head, sending you sprawling to the ground.
Mm.
But that gave Usla a chance. He got a claw in her. And with a snarl of rage, she turns from you, jumps towards him. And he may be 8 foot of muscle, but she gets her hands on his throat. Tackles him to the ground.
Can I take a shot?
You can't.
I can?
You can if you want. Remember, fire hurts werewolves too.
But they...
He's got her claws on his throat. He's got his talons stuck inside her stomach. And they are locked in a death grip on each other.
Says I'm rolling back and forth. Protect him. Protect him.
All right, so these are regular wooden arrows, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she's gonna look at Lucian. I don't have no idea if this is gonna work. She grabs it, breaks the tip off, so it's nothing but wood. And she's gonna load it up in the bow and arrow and go, if it hits him, he'll survive. If it hits her and I can stake her from a distance, she's going down.
You're going to try to stake from a distance. Somebody locked with each other's hands around their throat and the other one with his claws in her gut. This is going to be nice. Yeah, go ahead. Give me some.
If I can get at least, I mean, they're I mean, I know they're stuck together, but she's not running, so it's a stationary spot.
Yeah, they're fighting and rolling around the ground. I love it. Let's go for it. Try it.
Okay, so what are we? What is it? How many?
Give me 8 dice.
All right, 8.
While all this is happening, Lucius is simply taking everyone closer because he knows things are about to go down one way or the other. So
I got a 10.
He's preparing.
10, an 8, a 7, an 8, an 8, and 1.
Pretty good. The arrow hits her. Close. You're pretty sure it was just, well, maybe you did hit her heart, or maybe you didn't, because it doesn't stop her. And then, not you, Charlie, everybody else, you feel that tuning fork feeling again, much louder this time. Your whole body and soul is vibrating. And then you begin to hear a shrieking noise. Makes your head hurt, ears hurt. And the night sky goes dark, the moon disappears, and everything's in blackness. And all you hear is a high-pitched shrieking.
Can't let this happen, y'all.
And the ground shaking. But as the shrieking gets louder, the vibrations in you get louder and louder and stronger. Suddenly, through this dark that you can't see, you do see streaks of red light that tear through the air, the earth, leaving rents in the earth, gouges. You see trees in the distance lit by this red light, toppling, breaking, as the land is blackened around him. And for Gary, Julian, Lucius, Luxie, and Silas, you begin to feel your souls breaking. There's a harmony here, a resonance coming from his totems that are breaking you. And Charlie, as you're standing there, one of those red flashes hits you, bears you to the ground. Horribly wounded. You're still conscious, barely, holding on. Effort of will. And this continues. Seems like an eternity. Right before dawn, Charlie, the shrieking stops and the blackness disappears. And all you see on the battlefield are mangled corpses of vampires and lupines and humans. And Usla, barely recognizable, over your body, looking at you like he thinks you're dead, as he digs a hole and pulls his eye out, sticks it in the hole, pulls his claw, his whole arm off, shoves it in the hole with you. You're in one of those rents that was given, and pushes dirt over the both of you. And blackness takes over you, Charlie. For the rest of you, your souls break. And somewhere, hang on, somewhere in time, these shattered pieces of the lupine's totem, carried by a mage, a changeling, a werewolf, and two wraiths. Those pieces travel to the spirit world. Some end up in an island called Eden, some in the deep umbra, some in the possession of a man who claims himself to be Michael, where they will be found in the future by a mage, two wraiths, a werewolf, and a changeling. But for you, Charlie, you sleep the sleep of death, of torpor. Trapped here in the ground, you barely notice time pass. Something has kept you held there the entire time. And as time moves forward, you sense disturbances above you. You sense buildings being built. You feel unclean for most of the end of the existence, because someone has built a true faith temple above your resting place. And as time moves forward, the null zone grows and grows bigger and bigger. And Milwaukee becomes the city it is. When back in the year 2024, Charlie, you awake. Pull yourself out through a steam tunnel where you still feel unclean, but it's not close enough to stop you, to hurt you. And make your way back to Jackie's throne room, carrying an eye and an eagle's talon, an unbroken totem. Roscoe, you were there in the throne room with Jackie at the time. When Charlie comes in, Charlie looks more haggard than you last saw her, hungry, but older.
Covered in dirt.
Covered in dirt, but older. There's a sense of age to her she didn't have as much of before.
How is it you are here?
Yeah, welcome back.
Was it successful?
Thinks so. And she just kind of like dumps the eye and talon like in front of
It is a
you.
perfectly preserved eye, not bloody, but it's an eye. And it's an eagle's talon. And Roscoe, with Auspex, you can feel the magic coming off it. You don't even have to roll. You feel the sheer spirit power coming off it.
Oh, Jackie can feel it too. She's got all specs.
Jackie had blood sorcery too.
And
Little
you
bit
have
of
that too.
Yeah.
I would say so. She looks to Roscoe.
Yes.
Are those intact?
They look to be. Should I see what their story says?
Do be careful. They are lupine. Tied.
I will try Spirit's Touch on them.
I know you've
Okay.
got like 10 freaking dice for that pool.
With Spirit's Touch. They've been in a hole for over 200 years.
300.
Yeah, 300 now, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With Charlie the whole time.
She probably reeks something fierce right now.
Well, luckily, there's no Toreador in the room. Well, I must say, I am surprised that this worked out, but it is fortunate. I was not lying when I said that I had wished others had survived. You have incredible potential, Charlie.
I honestly expected to be dead. If that, there was this beam of light, and if it had hit me any harder, I probably wouldn't have.
Did any of the others that went with you survive?
I don't know. I was buried. I'm assuming not.
And you see the back slit open in your throne room as a woman steps out, the Lady Fate. It is as it was meant to be. Those sent back, their spirits are now where they're supposed to be, to have been found and sent back again, and then found and sent back again. Of all the fates to have, they have a torturous run. Their souls are caught in that loop to die and then be born, sent back to die, and then be born and sent back to die. But in so doing, there are the restored totems. With them returned to the rightful owners, the null zone will end. They are no longer buried under it. Do not look at me like that, Mr. Rond.
Why am I still here?
Why? You were the key. You were the anchor. Only you could have survived to bring the totems back. Had you not been buried with them, they would have been lost forever.
I look at you this way, Eve, because I see what you're doing.
But I come bearing gifts.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
And she gestures to the hole, and out steps Isabella and Emilio.
No, hello.
Hello.
What is this?
This is Isabella and Emilio. I have given them back their unlife. Not just me. I had help. I could not bring back the others.
She looks to Isabella and Emilio.
And Emilio's got that same shit-eating grin he always got when he knows he's been up to no good.
Jackie looks to Roscoe. You know I don't trust gifts.
Mm-hmm. Understandably, considering the source.
It's us. And I mean, I guess if you don't want me, Jackie, I can go.
It's not that, Isabella. Will you allow Roscoe to touch you?
I don't see why not.
Can I go over and touch?
You're going to spirits touch her.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
As you spirits touch her and delve back You see her time in the abyss. You see her on the island of Eden, choosing to stay with Emilio. You see her journey to it. You see her rage at dying at the hands of, technically it was Izzy. You see her time with you in Windy City in Chicago. And as you stretch further and further back, you catch pieces that you weren't there for. The night, you weren't there when she received the scalp of Brendan White. But you see all the bits and pieces. This soul is hers. This is Isabella.
This is absolutely our Isabella.
Then thank you for being a woman of your word, and she directs that at Eve.
Roscoe, I could not bring back your friend. What Franklin did was deny her soul to me. But I don't think she would have wanted to come back without her powers. That could never have been restored.
No, that was my motivation as well. I understand.
It was also the help that she had with this. I don't think that help was available for your friend.
As for Mr. Franklin, I don't know what his fate is. His fate has been hidden from me. Turns out there are some powers in the universe that are angry at my meddling already. Wrinkle and myself will have to have a discussion.
I'm curious, by how many souls did your legion grow?
From that battle? Most of them.
From just this endeavor?
Not as many as you may think. I will tell you, Antoine did not cross over to my side.
Good.
He moved on.
Good.
I did not claim his. I did get myself a nice handy Tremere.
Oh, really?
Yes. They're awfully stubborn when it comes to death. They don't like to leave their pet projects unattended.
This is true. Who is this Tremere? Is he known?
I'm sure Mr. Rond knew him. She sent him to her chantry.
Yes. The problem child.
You did
Good luck
well.
with that one.
If he gives me problems, I can always send him to the forges. You did well, Charlie. Only you could have made it these centuries after the battle to return. It had to be you.
I still think 80% of that is luck.
Luck is fate. As for the others, they died well. They tried to stop him. But one thing time teaches you, you can't change events directly. But you can nudge them to fix things. I'm sure Isabella has you all kinds of stories to tell now. And Emilio looks over. I've got stories if anyone's interested.
You weren't there as long.
Yeah, but I got to stay in that city without you for a while, and it was, the food was good, but you weren't there.
that city does not exemplify the struggles that I went through there. Your experience is very different than mine.
But I couldn't burn anything in the city.
Oh, I'm sure it was hell for you.
No one to pickpocket. No one to burn. Okay, you still win, but I mean, I got stories. And
Stories
he
of
looks
peace
over
and
at
archangels.
Jackie and winks. She loves me. It's okay.
Of course she
Yeah,
does.
I came back for you.
Are we done, Eve?
Am I dismissed?
Like you won't come and go as you please. Are we done?
What I have done this night, I'm afraid I won't be able to influence events for quite a while. This is all I have left to manifest for now. It will take me some number of decades to regain enough to, as you put it, meddle.
Meddle, manipulate. Yeah.
Ensure fate is satisfied.
Mm.
I saved your city, didn't I?
I believe it was a number of souls that saved this city.
I was fixing a wrong I did.
Which one?
Indeed.
Who do you think pointed him at the totems he stole?
Of course you did. Get your rest.
I will. And she turns, and the portal behind her closes. And she leaves Jackie in her throne room.
And literally, Jackie just says, I swear Cain got it honest from his mother. And she says, Isabella, I am happy to see you.
To say, but I have to be thankful for her. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. But beyond that,
She's a conniver. But I'm happy I have a Sunshaw back. I could
long
not
as
I
you'll
could
have
not
me.
find one to replace you.
it sounds like you had quite a lot of trouble while I was gone.
Charlie here was the only one to survive of the team we sent for the Keystone. Henri volunteered. Had something to prove.
I heard. I'm sorry.
It was his choice. I have to live with that. But I am very, very pleased to see you, and she looks to the rapscallion beside Isabella, and she looks to Charlie and says, and my offer of boon to you still stands. Name it, it is yours. You are a hero of this domain.
I want a friend.
You want a friend?
Hmm.
Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay. Then it will be.
Well, lucky for you, I'm looking for living friends now. All I had were dead ones. Well, dead.
And Charlie, I will say you are back to your Nosferatu look.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you bathe first.
Oh.
The Toreador
Yes.
has entered the room. All right. Well, we will see. We will do our best we can for that. But allow me to at least provide sustenance for you. You look like you need it. And Jackie will nod to Etienne.
He looks over. Good to see you, Isabella. Welcome back.
Thanks. I'm glad to be here.
And as this throne, Jackie does her final scene as Jackie. I'd like to thank the viewers and the players.
And Isabella is Isabella.
Isabella's
and
final
Roscoe
Isabella.
is
Roscoe.
And Charlie is Charlie.
Yes, but for Roscoe, Isabella, and Jackie, this is closing a pretty serious book for their characters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give this group a chance to say goodbye to everybody before I switch back to the rest of the cast so that they can also say goodbye.
Thank you, everyone. I'm speaking now as Mama McStabber. Thank you, everyone that has story told in this series, that has played in this series. We could not have done this without each and every single one of you. Thank you so much. This story has been amazing, amazing, all because we did it together. Thank you so much. And thank you to all the viewers that have been watching live and watching on YouTube. For real, y'all's engagement with the story has really just been amazing for us. We love it. We absolutely love it. And we're so glad that you love this as well. So thank you.
Parting words, Isabella?
Yeah, gosh, I'm gonna cry because I always cry. So I just wanted to say thank you for giving this opportunity. I know we've joked about for ages about getting Nicholas and Isabella in a Wraith game together, but I never thought that that would lead to as satisfying an end to their stories as it did. And so I'm super glad to get that bookend on it and actually have what happened afterwards. So phenomenal story, everybody.
And Roscoe, you're any?
I just want to say thank you to everyone who's watched us all this time. This has been an incredible ride for all of us, and we've really enjoyed presenting this to you all. So thank you. And Roscoe still has unfinished business with the Lady of Fate.
Don't we all?
Not only did she take Samantha, she also took Silas, who is his great grandnephew.
Well, I guess you just have to grind that axe.
But thank you, everyone.
And Charlie down there, who did not know she was going to survive. She had no clue. I set up this part of the overlay without her knowing that she was in the overlay.
Surprise!
Surprise.
Yeah, Charlie's double blast.
Yeah, I honestly didn't know because I had received a message from Mama a week ago being like, so you didn't live.
I'm like, so she's going to inform you you're going to have to sacrifice yourself.
Yeah.
Berlin didn't even know that you were going to survive until tonight.
Until today.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to spoil it.
The storytellers did not find out my plans for the end of the story until tonight. I kept it secret until then. Everyone says I like to spoil things. Not always.
I just wanted to say it was awesome playing in this game. I really wish that more people would have survived out of mine, but then it probably would have made it hard for, say, Glaciate to play in today's episode. So, yeah, it's been awesome, and I can't wait to see what comes next.
I'm so glad to have you here with this one.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm going to switch over to the other group so they can give their parting words.
Bye, y'all.
And still Charlie up there. We got you already. Gary, your turn.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's super fun, dying as a ghost, and not even sure what are Gary and Julian stuck in the items now? Is that what you said happened to them?
Your
It's
spirits
cool.
became the spirits you picked up in Modern Nights, caught in a loop.
Well, as Wraiths, we're probably used to being stuck in time loops when, especially if you watched the earlier Wraiths, seeing Julian get stuck in a time loop. I'm sure Gary's had his future time loops. No, but this was a fantastic opportunity to play in. Fortunate to be able in both the Wraith and the Changeling game and this final game. So thank you. Appreciate everyone watching and hope you all enjoyed.
I did. I enjoyed watching you all. And I was glad to get Garrett or you House at the table again for Wraith, because Wraith.
And we all know Gus the Bulldog was everyone's favorite character.
Oh God, we loved Gus.
Gus is amazing.
We love Gus, got to say. Revenue's Archon, your final goodbyes from Queen's Gambit. We'll still see you on other games, of course. But
Yeah. I want to say thank you for, as always, trusting me with handling Mage. I know that it is a daunting game for people to kind of wrap their heads around, and I always try to make it as enjoyable and as user-friendly as possible. So I hope that I have 4 new Mage players in the audience. But it has been a real treat to finally play Wraith as being a storyteller that's done it before. And this has been such a wild ride. And I'm amazed at every step every hurdle that we crossed, every just what looked like an insurmountable odd just get tackled by the sheer willpower and love that all of us had for the mission. And at the end of the day, I'm gonna enjoy the fact that I'm the deadliest storyteller at this corporation.
But you didn't kill them all. I killed the last one for you.
I mean, you got technicalities. My entire cast died. I'm the deadliest storyteller. That's how I see it.
Okay, Lucius, Glaciate, your final goodbyes. You're muted. You pulled a bin.
I am a mutant now. Thank you. Yeah, so I have to thank everyone for this game. It was amazing. It was actually my entry on the McStabber Studios. I did the auditions for it, and then everything that came after. And so I'm very thankful for being able to play in here. I am glad that my vampire died because I got to play Lucius, and Lucius is it's much more fun as a character than my vampire was. My vampire was a party pooper. Lucius is precious. So yeah, I really enjoyed playing in this Chronicle. I enjoyed playing every Chronicles in the studio. Yeah, I'm so glad that this whole story came to an end and I had the opportunity to participate in it, because it was such a grand scale and so amazing. All the splats, all the stories were great. So yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity, and I'm glad this happened.
And for those wondering, when we're picking casts, especially something like this with auditions, it's not about whether you've played with us before. It's not about whether you've been on camera with us before. It's how well you role play. Very first thing you tried out for, and guess what? Here you are. 2 different splats. So, Sykeshire, your turn to say your goodbyes.
Okay. And I just want to compliment all of the people that I've played with and the STs. And I don't know if everybody understands how hard it actually is when you have 5 splats and 5 different storytellers. You've got admin, everybody's story's got to line up, and just the sheer amount of people and keeping this thing where it moves smoothly has got to be one of the most daunting and difficult experiences to be able to do, just with the sheer amount of people. Because I've said this before in a post that everybody has to be able to be businesslike and function together. Everybody's got to be able to be here. Everybody's got to be able to do all the things they need to do. And it is so hard. It's like herding cats, herding everybody together so that everybody does what they're supposed to be doing. And everybody did it. And it was so amazing. It was wonderful. I've never played Changeling before, so this is literally my first role ever in Changeling. And I was part of the vampire as well. And I will go along with saying, I hate to say a character died, but I loved playing Luxie. I really did. If I would not have had my vampire die. I wouldn't be able to play Luxie. So I just want to thank everybody for the opportunity to do this. And I truly love each person that I've worked with and how amazing that everybody is. And thank you for everybody that's watching, because you took time out of your day to watch and to support. And that means a lot to all of us, because we do it for us, but we do it for you too. So it's thank you to everybody, and just much loves for everybody.
And I've said many times, we know we're not doing this to be famous. We're not doing this to make money. We do this to share stories. And if it wasn't for the fact that we had viewers, we wouldn't be sharing the stories with anyone. And we're glad for that. Silas, you already got to go. So you're good to go. For those wondering, the theme for tonight, if you pop over to our Discord, you can see what the theme is for tonight. It's the time loop is all about the Jinn particle, the paradox caused by itself. But most importantly, if you join our Discord tomorrow night, we will be doing a Zoom hangout where you might get to find out the storyteller's opinions on what the events and some of the troubles we went through, and the coordination, and maybe my reasonings for doing what I did for the final episode. I'm going to talk about that in the Zoom tomorrow night. So you might want to hang out for that, because, there was some thought process behind this. So 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, come hang out and Zoom with us. If you're on our Discord, it's open to all members of the Discord. You don't have to have a camera, just a microphone so that you can talk. We do that. We haven't done one in a while. We're doing one tomorrow night. So please check that out. If you want to catch back episodes, go and check our back episodes. So we got not only this one, there's a lot of Windy City references to it and the events of Windy City, because it may be Queen's Gambit, but it was the final chapter of Windy City. We are done with Windy City. We will not be returning to Windy City or the characters, though you might hear their names mentioned in other streams, because they are canon to the Shankyverse. So check that out. If you want to see some D&D or Call of Cthulhu 5e, or D&D 5e or Call of Cthulhu 7th edition, pop over to London Esoteric Society. You saw our wonderful Keeper of Arcane Lore Tiss last week as a mage. You'll see her coming up here. Relent will tell you that on the schedule. It's coming up. And, catch back episodes. We'll get some studio merch and get some studio merch. A number of people could actually buy themselves and feel confident with buying themselves I played in a McStabber Studios one shot, and I died in the McStabber Studios one shot, and all I got was this t-shirt. Yeah, it was a mini-series, but you can get the t-shirt because you died. Most of you, except Charlie and some of the werewolves. But, some of the changelings, but a lot of you died. Just go ahead and get that. My brain is fried. Oh, you want to support the players. So, bits and donations, they go to the players, not to the studio. It's a way to you to give thanks. There was a lot of back-end coordination, a lot of, as Sykeshire, a lot of professional people working on this. We may be amateurs, but we approach it as professionals. And I got to say, the cast that we had in these streams did a bang-up job of being on time and being in the story and part of the story. And I love it. It's why we do this. And of course, if you want to give to the studio, subscribe on Twitch. You don't get ads. That's the only reason to subscribe on Twitch. They take half. Pop over to our coffee. You can buy Mama a coffee. After all the cat herding Mama did, she needs a coffee, preferably spiked with liquor. Or if you watch on YouTube, look, we just got done the holiday. None of us have money. I know I sure as hell don't after the holidays. You can go over to YouTube, like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel. That supports the studio without costing you a damn penny. So go ahead and do that. And let me go around and let people talk about what they got going on, because I know Ravnos down there, he's got stuff going on. Tell people what you got going on, because I didn't do our friends. That's what I'm missing. Check out our friends. One of them's Ravnos Archon. I'll let him go first.
There you go. Hi, everybody. I do TTRPG stuff on my own channel here on Twitch. Everything that is not Dungeons & Dragons, since it's oversaturated. And I will be coming back. We're on break right now for the end of the year, but I'll be coming back in the middle of January with two little mini-series. One of Scion First Edition, because who doesn't like playing the Child of a God? And one that I hope will be well received so that I can bring it over here. But it's going to be Wonder Home, which is a nice little diceless storytelling game.
That sounds cool. I have time to play it, but it does sound cool. Now,
It's wholesome.
if you want to see our great Chicago Hidden City storyteller, that's Junie Von Esch. You can pop over to check her out. Go do that. She does Stitch and Bitch, but she's also our werewolf storyteller. She does Chicago Hidden City, which is coming back for Act 2 coming up here soon. You can also pop over and see re-rolls, but let me pop over here real quick so that Mischievous Red down there can see what she's got going on. She's on our friends list. We'll bring her back on camera.
Hi. Yeah, I'm Mischievous Red. I stream occasionally when I have time and when life permits. And generally, right now, it's mini painting and probably other creative stuff coming forward. But because life is variable and I stream randomly, join the Discord because then you get notified when I go live.
All of our friends, you get notified, like Sykeshire, who I need to add to our friends list here. But I'm going to come back and switch back to the other one.
Do it.
I know I haven't gotten to it yet. I'm going to switch back to here so Sykeshire can say what she's got going on, and maybe if she's got it handy, can post a link to her channel. But if you're on the Discord, you'll get known when she goes live anyway. But, you know.
Yeah, I mean, so basically what I've got is I am streaming and playing Marvel Rivals. If you haven't tried it, OMG, is it not amazing? Also, Helldivers. So I got Marvel Rivals, Helldivers, Mass Effect 3, and whatever else floats my boat. But those have been my main 3 lately that I've been streaming. And it is amazing. If you haven't tried any of that stuff, it's fun. And hanging out with these people. And I cannot wait for the next opportunities to try out for something else because I need something to do. Y'all don't want me to be bored. So I'm serious. The Theta roll don't go too far from the tree here. So I really need to let's get some rolls going. So I'm going to be looking for some next roles to try out for and hanging out with all these people. And I cannot tell you how much fun this has been.
I think the next casting call is going to be for my Eclipse Phase game. So if you want to play sci-fi, body hopping fun, then you want to play with that one because that'll be probably the next one. There's the link to Sykeshire's Twitch right there in chat. Thank you, Mischievous Red. And now I'm going to switch back to the other view because I want Mama on scene when she gives the schedule so we can make sure you can see her. Man, this is fun switching back and forth constantly.
Yeah, don't get vertigo from it, okay?
Getting dizzy.
As someone who gets vertigo, I know it sucks, okay? But yeah, so. All right. Well, again, thank you everyone for joining us for the conclusion of this story of Queen's Gambit. We are actually on break all week up until Saturday next week. So Saturday next week at 3 p.m. Eastern, we kick off with the new year with 7C, run by Tiss. You'll want to join her crew of...
Scurvy dogs. Just call them scurvy dogs.
Scurvy dogs.
Why's the rum always gone?
Because they drank it all. As they sail the high seas and get into shenanigans in their miniseries. Yep. And so that kicks off at 3 p.m. Eastern on the first Saturday of January 2025. And of course, it's a double feature day because we are coming back to Chicago circa 2010 in Junie's Chicago Hidden City Vampire the Masquerade V5 game. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. So you get a double feature. So yeah, that's what we got coming up. And of course, we have other streams starting in January. Did you fix the offline image?
Probably not.
No.
Kansas City kicks off again, though, in...
After that, yep.
Yep, Kansas City kicks off on January 10th.
Yep. So we've got January's kicking off all our stuff. We got Changeling starting in January. We've got
Delta Green run by
Delta Green coming in the middle of January.
A frequent player, but new to running a game on our channel.
Timber Brad running it.
Mr. Bad Decisions himself.
And you'll see some familiar faces in that, y'all. Like one of them right there.
Two of them.
Two. That's right.
Two troublemakers. Yep. So serious, everybody, you want to check all that out. And as we're ending this stream, I want to tell you mental health. It's not a joke, not a laughing matter. We dealt with a lot of dark themes. We had one player almost walk the spiral as a werewolf. I mean, there was some dark shit in some of these episodes, but ultimately, it's a game. And in the real life, we want you to take care of your mental health, because mental health is health. And while it's okay to not be okay, we want you to get help with that. And please check in on those around you. This is the middle of winter. It's rough on people. Seasonal affective disorder, plus the holidays. A lot of people mask. And it just takes a kind word to reach out and help them out. So please do that. And if you suffer from mental health issues, I want you to reach out to your support network. But if you feel you can't, because I understand a lot of people don't feel comfortable sharing that with others, you can look in chat. There's a list of numbers you can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to get the help you need. There'll be a professional on the other end of the line who can help you. And if you're in crisis, I urge you, please contact those numbers. Get the help you need, because we want you to take care of yourselves. And if you're not in the U.S. or you watch this on YouTube, you can go to findahelpline.com, put in your country of origin, and find out the support lines for your country. Okay? Because look, unlike a number of these players, you only have one life. Get help. Don't suffer in silence, and don't suffer alone, please. And now I can turn it over to my lovely wife for her portion of the outro as she rains fire and brimstone down.
Well, first I'm going to tell you, do take care of your mental well-being. As someone who lives with and sometimes in spite of mental illness, depression, anxiety, seasonal affective, panic disorder, all the laundry list of shit, please take care of yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Make sure, because it all works together, y'all. It all works together. Go get your vaccines while you fucking can. And I'm not being exaggerating at all with that. Please get your vaccines while you fucking can. Please get checked out, get your physicals. If you're due for things, tests and stuff, get them fucking done. Because I don't know what's going to happen with our healthcare landscape with the new administration. They've already done things that are kicking in effect that's going to affect access to care, especially for the children of military families. And please, take care of yourselves, y'all. And you are not alone. As Shanky said, please reach out for support. You're not alone. Also, I will say that if you contributed to the administration we are about to get on January 20th, either through voting Republican, voting third party thinking you're protesting, or abstaining, get the fuck out of my goddamn channel and my fucking community. Your decisions impacts everyone. And children, trans folks, and women, disabled, minorities, and a whole host of others are going to suffer for the next 4 years minimum. Fuck off.
And that stupid fucker says he wants to make Canada the 51st state. Fuck Puerto Rico and D.C. He wants to make Greenland a U.S. territory and take back the Panama Canal. Yeah, I'm sure other nations are real pleased at being told that.
Denmark's already said Greenland's not for sale, but they know that the America's for sale, so they'll buy America, just not the government.
Oh, they can just buy the politicians. I mean, ours are cheap.
That's what they say, is obviously everything's for sale. It was under the last Trump administration.
Yeah, they're cheap.
Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. So really, if you contributed to that at all, get the fuck off.
Yeah. Because you think he's joking. He's not. It won't happen. He's serious because he's senile.
No, he's not senile. He's a fucking malignant narcissist.
And senile. Cognitive decline, everybody. You voted for somebody who is mentally challenged at this point and should not be in.
All because you couldn't vote for a black woman.
All and to save 5 cents in gas. So I do thank you all for coming. And it has been my pleasure to not only have been the storyteller for this, but honestly to have come up with the idea of doing something this crazy with Mama's assistants trying to coordinate all this crazy shit.
Oh, it was more than assistance. At times, it was a fucking job. Okay?
It was. But I do thank you all for coming. And we will see you next time. We need to break off. I'm going to be drinking.
Yeah.
See you on Zoom tomorrow night with me with alcohol.
Yeah.
You might even get to hear Shanky sing.
Thank you all again. Have a great
Yep.
night.
So good night, everybody.
Good night.